Hello everyone, welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney and today's Thursday, June 16th, coming to you from Studio Stephanie today. Thank you for being here for the top stories from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. This is where we're bringing you the stories that matter most to you here in Northeast Ohio, because these are the stories that you are clicking on reading and sharing from our website and from our app. And we start off with something you need to know about weather in the area. Yes, it is very hot outside again today, but there are also some severe thunderstorm warnings and watches to be aware of. We have a full list of everything that's been happening this afternoon on WKYC.com, but these areas are under a severe thunderstorm warning until 4:15 p.m. Southern Stark County, Southern Wayne County, and Northeastern Holmes County. And the following counties are under a severe thunderstorm watch until 9 p.m. tonight: Ashland, Ashtabula, Carroll, Columbiana, Coshocton, Geauga, Holmes, Mahoning, Medina, Portage, Richland, Stark, Summit, Trumbull, Tuscarawas, and Wayne counties. Scattered thunderstorms are expected to spread across Northeast Ohio this afternoon and into the evening. Scattered will be the key word, according to our 3 News meteorologist, Holly Strano. She says, even so, you could have a stronger or even isolated severe storm that develops. It's important to know that you are not all going to deal with it. Many of you are just going to see a lot of sunshine today. Here's the short forecast. Today, more heat and humidity with scattered storm chances with lows in the 90s. Not often we hear lows in the 90s. Tomorrow it'll be mostly sunny, around 80 degrees, and then Saturday mostly sunny, much cooler, in the low 70s. Now today, the hearings continue for the January 6th committee. That started at 1 p.m. and the focus today was about former President Donald Trump and his actions that are being said to have pressured then Vice President Mike Pence to reject election results. And today, the people that were testifying included 2 people who were set to try and make that case for the hearing. Greg Jacob, the Vice President's counsel who fended off ideas for Pence to carry out a plan to reject the election results, and then also retired federal judge Michael Luddig, who called the plan from a conservative law professor incorrect at every turn, and that person actually had clerked for the federal judge. There are future hearings expected as well. They're set to be one Tuesday, June 21st, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern, and also Thursday, June 23rd, also at 1 p.m. Eastern. And we have the entire hearing on WKYC.com. Of course, we streamed it, but you can see the playback on WKYC.com. Now, in Akron, the Summit County Sheriff's Office announced on Tuesday that multiple victims of an alleged human trafficking scheme were found and rescued at a location that's often referred to as a tent city in Akron. The authorities had responded to several complaints of possible exploitation and potential human trafficking violations, and then when detectives were there, they had determined that several individuals had been victimized and some required immediate intervention. So some were offered medical treatment, counseling, and shelter service options. According to the Summit County Sheriff's Office, one person was taken to a hospital as a result of their medical condition. So Summit County authorities are investigating the suspected sexual offenses and human trafficking violations. So in addition to that, other people were identified and taken into custody. 13 people with active felony warrants residing in or around the Kent Place area that is referred to as Tent City. The felony charges among those taken to the Summit County Jail include burglary, having weapons while under a disability, sex offender noncompliance, and possession of drugs. Now here's something that when I saw this headline, I was surprised, and we have more of the backstory on WKYC.com, but you might be familiar with the company Revlon, a popular makeup company, or so we thought, but they've now filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. And the filing, it's a 90-year-old multinational beauty company, is because the company is saying they're weighed down by a debt load, disruptions to supply chain network, and surging costs. So it's a New York-based company, and they say if this plan is approved by the court, they will get more financing from existing lenders and will keep day-to-day operations running. So Revlon not going anywhere, but falling on tough times, apparently. Now here is a story that is something that seems to resurface every now and then. Former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice, you may remember there was a report that the Cleveland Browns were actually looking at her to be the head coach. That was before they hired Freddie Kitchens in 2019. And it comes up from time to time, and it came up again on a virtual press conference that was on Wednesday. And when she was asked about it again on Wednesday, she said, I think there are a lot of better qualified people to be the coach of the Cleveland Browns. She said she thinks that the Browns have found a good coach in Kevin Stefanski, and she'll stick to being a fan. But by the way, she's got some cred in the football space. She served on the college football playoff committee, and she said she used to watch it all the time with her dad, who was a football coach when she was born. And when they would watch football, he would be asking her about the plays. He would say, "What is that?" And she would say, "That's a trap block." Or he would say, "What are they doing?" And she would say, "They're setting up a screen." So she knows the game. She definitely does. She was also asked about the situation with Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson, who has 24 sexual assault lawsuits pending against him and 2 more on the way, according to attorney Tony Busby. Watson has denied the allegations. Here's what Condoleezza Rice said about it. She said she believes in keeping an open mind until all of the facts are evident. She said she knows the league is doing an investigation and that the Browns have done an investigation, and she will wait to see what the outcome is. She said this: "These are serious matters. I think every woman feels that these are serious matters, but hopefully people will get to the bottom of it, and we'll see where we are in a couple of months." Speaking of Condoleezza Rice's sports cred, she is being honored with the Ambassador of Golf Award at the 2022 Bridgestone Senior Players Championship next month. That's at Firestone Country Club in Akron. Now here's some good news for parents who are anxiously awaiting COVID-19 vaccinations for their young children. Approval is getting closer and closer for children ages 5 and younger to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. So Department of Health Director Dr. Bruce Vanderhoff talked about what's happening now. He says that the state has already begun placing orders for these vaccinations, so they will be ready. And the first deliveries are expected on Monday, June 20th. So here's what's happened so far. Earlier this week on June 15th, the Vaccine Advisory Committee to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration did vote unanimously to recommend approval for Pfizer's application for children ages 6 months through 4 years, and for Moderna's application for children ages 6 months to 5 years for this vaccination. So what's coming next is FDA leadership is expected to issue its approval. They'll be meeting on Friday and Saturday to make recommendations about the vaccine's use. Now, the CDC director then has to approve the committee's recommendations. We don't know what the CDC will recommend, but typically the CDC acts in concert with the FDA. So here's what parents need to know right now. The Pfizer vaccination is a 3-shot series. The second dose can be given after 3 weeks. The third dose comes 2 months later. Each of those doses is 1/10 of what's included in the adult dose. And for the Moderna vaccine, it's a 2-shot series. The second dose can be given 4 weeks after the first, and those are 1/4 of the adult dose. Now, if you like barbecue, here's something you're going to want to pay attention to. Bubbas Q will be back on the menu in Northeast Ohio. It's been away for 3 years. You may remember Bubbas Q launched in Avon in 2013 by former Cleveland Browns defensive lineman Al Bubba Baker. Things got to a slow start, but then he appeared on Shark Tank in 2013, and it skyrocketed for a number of years. But it had to shut down in 2019, and now it's coming back. And you know who's bringing it back is James Baker, who is the son of Al Bubba Baker. So there'll be slow smoked beef brisket, ribs, pulled pork, and classic southern sides like mac and cheese and baked beans. It's a food truck. It'll be available for corporate caterings and private events, and we've got the information to contact Mr. Baker on WKYC.com if you are interested in potentially having Bubba's Q food truck in your area. One more thing to let you know before we go here. Yes, this is a big weekend. We are still in the middle of Pride Month. Father's Day is on Sunday, and Juneteenth is also on Sunday, which is commemorating the day that enslaved people were finally free a couple years after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation. That happened in Texas. So there are some things happening on Sunday to commemorate Juneteenth here in Northeast Ohio. Here are 3 of them. In Kent State University's Juneteenth Jubilee is happening from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. There'll be live performances, head wrapping demonstrations, music and dancing, and also a showcase of Black businesses. In Akron, people can meet at the Akron Zoo at 9 a.m. for a Juneteenth Akron history hike. And then here in Cleveland, the Runway Fashion Show is back. It will be at the Cleveland Museum of Art. That'll be in the evening on Sunday, June 19th. And the show, which is presented by Fashion Talks and the Fashion Talks Foundation, is something that I talked about on my 3 Things to Know podcast this week with founder Ayman Ali, and that will be celebrating diversity in the fashion world. So for more details on these events, go to WKYC.com, and also more events commemorating Juneteenth here in Northeast Ohio. And that is it for your 3 News Now update today for Thursday, June 16th. Everyone try and stay cool out there, and I will see you back here tomorrow with more 3 News Now.